Okay, today we're jumping into a pretty high-stakes environmental investigation. You see, beneath the beautiful, crystal-clear surface of the Red Sea, there's this silent crisis unfolding. We're going to look at how scientists are using a detective that's actually in orbit to solve the mystery of what's happening to the corals of Ras Mohammed.
So let's set the scene. Ras Mohammed National Park. It's basically an underwater jewel, just this incredibly vibrant ecosystem. But hidden from view, its corals are facing this huge, mysterious degradation. And it's a problem that's way too big for our usual methods to track. Now, this really matters, because the corals in the Red Sea, they're some of the most heat-resistant on the entire planet, which makes them a vital hope for the future of reefs everywhere. And right there, that's the central challenge. I want you to think of this coral bleaching as a massive, slow-motion crime scene. So how in the world do you survey the full extent of the damage when it's spread out across hundreds of kilometers of ocean? Sending divers down just isn't going to cut it. Yeah, here's exactly why the old ways just fall short. A diver can only cover a tiny, tiny fraction of the reef at one time. It's kind of like trying to map an entire city by just looking through one window on each block. Sure, you get a few snapshots, but you completely miss the big picture. It was clear a new kind of detective was needed.
And here it is. Our hero in the story isn't a person in a lab coat. Nope. It's an incredibly advanced piece of technology orbiting high, high above the Earth, a satellite that can actually see what our eyes can't.
And when I say high above, I mean it. This detective, a satellite called Sentinel-2, is watching the Earth from 786 kilometers away. I mean, think about that. From that incredible vantage point, it can monitor the entire reef system in a single pass. So what's its superpower? Well, it's something called multispectral imaging. The satellite doesn't just snap a photo like your phone. It captures light across a whole range of wavelengths, including many that are totally invisible to us. And this is the key forensic tool that lets scientists check on the coral's health, all the way from space. All right, so the clues have been gathered from orbit. Now it's time for the digital forensics. This is the part where scientists take all that raw light energy and start decoding what it's telling them about the life and death struggle happening on the seafloor. Now, the whole process is pretty complex, but you can really break it down into three main steps. First, the satellite captures the raw, reflected light from the area. Second, and this part is absolutely crucial, scientists apply what's called an atmospheric correction. They basically scrub the data clean, digitally removing any interference from haze or water vapor to get a crystal clear view of the ocean floor. And then finally, they can isolate the specific light signatures coming from the corals themselves. And that brings us to this idea of a spectral fingerprint. Think of it like this. Healthy coral, with its living, stony skeleton, reflects light in a very specific and unique way. It has its own signature. But when that coral bleaches and dies, it gets covered by algae. And that algae-covered rock, it reflects light in a completely different way. That change in the fingerprint is the key clue. It tells scientists exactly what's healthy and what's not, even from hundreds of kilometers up.
And if we want to get even more specific, scientists are looking for one particular piece of evidence. When a coral is stressed out and starts losing the algae that keeps it alive, there's a measurable shift in how it reflects light, specifically in the near-infrared and red edge parts of the spectrum. That little change is the telltale sign. It's the smoking gun that tells them a coral is in big trouble.
So with all the evidence processed, it is time to build the case. Because this data, it doesn't just identify that there is a problem, it reveals the true scale and the cause of the whole crisis. The data points to a very clear culprit, thermal stress, which is being driven by rising ocean temperatures. And the urgency here is something you can really feel. This analysis isn't just about what happened in the past. It's a huge warning. Forecasts for 2026 show another massive heat wave coming, and that's like a ticking clock for these fragile ecosystems. You know, by looking back at years of satellite data, what scientists call a multi-temporal analysis, a really disturbing pattern starts to emerge. You see minor stress back in 2010. Then it jumps to significant bleaching in 2018. And now, widespread degradation today. The frequency and the severity are just escalating, pointing towards a really critical threat in 2026. And here are the hard numbers, and they show a really devastating decline. In the baseline years, live coral covered about 75% of the seafloor in these key reef areas. Today, that number has plummeted to just 40%. And let's be clear, this isn't some future prediction. This is a loss that has already happened.
This right here, this is the final piece of evidence that connects the crime to the culprit. These heat maps, made from the satellite data, they show the geographic progression of the bleaching. You can literally see exactly where the warmest water was and how those exact areas match up with the most severe coral depth. It's a direct, undeniable link. But you know, this whole investigation isn't just about documenting a tragedy. It's about using this amazing intelligence to fight back. Solving the crime is just the first step. The next, and most important step, is preventing it from happening all over again. So this data has led to a clear, forward-looking action plan. AI is now being used to automatically classify reef health over these huge areas almost instantly, which is helping to inform new targeted conservation laws. And most importantly, it's allowing scientists to find and prioritize what they call super reefs, zones that have shown they're more naturally resilient to heat. The big goal here is to scale this kind of monitoring across the entire region. And this is how all that high-tech data turns into action on the ground. Instead of just guessing where to focus their limited resources, park managers can now use these maps to target their restoration efforts. They can protect those high-resilience areas, the reefs that have the best shot at surviving the next big heat wave. It's all about working smarter, not just harder. And all of this leaves us with one final crucial question. This technology gives us an unprecedented ability to diagnose the health of our planet from orbit. We've just seen how it helps solve the mystery of Ras Mohammed's dying corals. The real test now is whether we're going to use this incredible power to actually save our fragile world below.